Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now. Today we're going to be going over a potential wildcard draft for Game Week 10. So if you're excited for the video, make sure to drop a like down below, leave a comment, how did you finish with your Game Week 9 score, subscribe if you're brand new, ring the notification bell. With all of that out of the way though, let's get into the video and I really hope that you enjoy. So, starting things off, this is the wildcard draft for Game Week 10, or the team that I would personally pick if I was still on a wildcard for Game Week 10. So in goal, I've gone with Gaeta and Iverson. I would go Ward because obviously he is still the playing keeper. He's actually got him to 4.1 now. He got a price rise last night after getting that 7-pointer or 8-pointer, whatever it was. But I've obviously gone Iverson because of just the money. For this draft to work, unfortunately, you can't afford Ward, which again isn't the worst thing in the world because you're going to be playing Gaeta every week anyway. And Iverson, again, there's a 0.2 difference now between Iverson and Ward. So again, it's a little bit more money saved. But either way, if you still have Ward, then obviously who would still be 4 mil, then I would keep him. But if you do not have the funds for like this draft, obviously you'd have to go with Iverson. But I would pick Ward over Iverson, of course, because he's the playing keeper and he's probably kept his spot after last night. But at the same time, the only reason I don't have him is because of price. But Gaeta is your main keeper. I mean, after the Chelsea game, that's why a lot of people brought the Crystal Palace keeper in him, because these are his fixtures coming up: Leeds, Leicester, Wolves, Everton and Southampton. Just a sea of green fixtures there, and hopefully should be performing a little bit better with better fixtures. They have played a lot of the big teams at the start of the season, and that's why their defensive numbers are quite shocking. I mean, they were a little bit unlucky against Chelsea, to be fair. I mean, I personally think it was a red card. A lot of people might disagree with me. A lot of people might agree with me, but I think they were a little bit hard done by. But either way, we've gone Gaeta and Iverson in goal. There are other options as well. You could go Raya, maybe even Pickford as well. I just think that Gaeta has the better fixtures out of all of them though, and he's only 4.5 mil. And he's obviously a lot cheaper than like Pope and stuff like that. So those are the goalkeepers. The back line consists of James, Cancelo, Fofana, Trippier and Kilman. So James is in there just simply because even though his numbers haven't been that good recently, he's still creating a lot more chances and stuff. He hasn't really been returning points, but I think he's definitely due a haul soon, and it could be against Wolves, it could be against Villa, but I wouldn't like necessarily get rid of him anytime soon, because up until Game Week 16, when we get all the free transfers and stuff, Chelsea's fixtures aren't too bad, and yeah, definitely think he's got some haul potential very, very soon. Cancelo as well, I just can't see, like, not having Cancelo for that Southampton game, I think is going to be very, very risky. I just don't think Liverpool they just haven't seemed to find their form this in the Prem, and I just think that City are going to walk away with the league, really. I mean, Arsenal seem to be the only other title contenders at the moment. So yeah, I would go Cancelo. I know that they blank in Game Week 12, but you'd obviously have to kind of just work around that with Arsenal and City players. I've also gone for Fofana as well. This could be any kind of under 4.5 defender though. I mean, Nico Williams isn't really an option anymore. He's basically bench fodder anyway. He's 4.1. He did come off at half time last night as well, so that means that Aurier might actually get some more minutes. So I don't think Nico Williams is really a player that you should be going for. Patterson would be perfect, but of course he's injured. So I have gone for Fofana for 4.4. You could double up on Crystal Palace defense and go for Gay as well, who's only 4.3, I believe. But I just think Fofana for an extra 0.1 is a little bit better, going for double Chelsea defense. And again, with the fixtures they've got coming up as well, Wolves, Villa, it's just some nice fixtures. And again, you don't have to play Fofana if you don't want to. He's mainly just on for like the bench and stuff. But you know, if you do want to play him, double Chelsea defense isn't the worst thing in the world. I've also gone Trippier as well. Got another price rise. I believe he's 5.5 now. And yeah, their fixtures are just like good then bad, then good then bad. But either way, I would definitely have Trippier in a wildcard team. I just think he's a really, really good option to have. And then last but not least, the last defender is Kilman. They do have Chelsea this week, but of course you would just bench him for that game. And then they have Forest, Crystal Palace, Leicester and Brentford. So some really nice fixtures. They don't have a manager at the moment, but again, we all saw how bad Forest were last night. As much as it pains me to say it as a Forest fan, it doesn't look good for our future. So any player that you can really have targeting Forest is kind of just a bonus. So that's probably going to be a clean sheet in that game. I mean, it depends who they bring in, but yeah, Wolves should probably dominate that game. I mean, it might end 0-0, you never know. But that is the back line there. Again, that Kilman could be any 4.5 mil defender. You could have a Brighton defender if you want, because they do play Forest pretty soon as well. If we go to somebody like, I don't know, Webster or something instead of Kilman. I mean, they have Tottenham, Brentford, then they have Forest, then City, Chelsea. So I mean, the fixtures aren't that good. if you're going to go Brighton. I think Kilman is probably a little bit better, just simply because they do still have, you know, Forest, Leicester's in there as well, Crystal Palace, Brentford. I don't know. I think there's not necessarily whole potential, but I think there's a few clean sheets in the next few fixtures. Anyway, that is the back line. In midfield, we have Martinelli, Zaha, Maddison, Bowen, and Andreas Pereira. Martinelli, again, even though he blanks in game week 12, it's just the fixtures after that are just really, really nice. And I mean, I think for this Arsenal Forest game at home, I think you need 3 Arsenal players for that. You need Martinelli, probably Saliba, and then like Jesus as well. And yeah, you're going to be looking at a lot of points there. I don't think Forest is going to do very well in that game at all. Zaha just has a really good set of fixtures now. Again, a lot of people brought him in for these fixtures. Again, he had the Chelsea game, but then now, you know, you can just kind of hopefully see him getting a bunch of points. Is on penalties as well, etc. Maddison, Mr. Save My Game Week, coming in at 8.1 now. I believe he got a price rise last night. Again, Bournemouth next, Crystal Palace, Leeds, Wolves. Yeah, I think that Maddison is a really good option. His numbers have actually been ridiculous. I think he's since like May, I think he's just under Haaland for like goal contributions. I think Maddison's had like 14 and Haaland's had 17. I think De Bruyne has also had 14 as well, but they're playing in the City side. So for Maddison to be on par with De Bruyne in a Leicester team with how bad they have been at the start of the season, like, that is ridiculous. So yeah, Maddison, yeah, he's not necessarily like someone you have to have, but I think he will hurt you not owning him. And then I've also gone Bowen as well. Fulham, Southampton, Liverpool, and then Bournemouth. Again, potentially on penalties as well. We're not 100% sure yet. We're going to have to see if he takes one when they get the next penalty. But yeah, just really nice fixtures for West Ham, and seem to be slowly changing their season around. And of course, they've got Fulham next and Southampton. Liverpool, I mean, you know, it's not the best fixture, but I think after Brighton stuck 3 past them, I think West Ham can easily do that as well. They just don't look very good at the moment. And then they've got Bournemouth as well. So, yeah, no Salah in this team at all, but I don't think you really need him. He's 12.8 mil, and you can easily use that for a bunch of other players that are going to get you a lot of points. And then, yeah, Andreas Pereira as well. But, yeah, that's just because he's a 4.5 mil playing midfielder, but you know, if you want him or you want someone else, it's completely up to you. And then going up to the top, we have Tony, Kane, and Haaland. So, yeah, for your premiums, you've gone for Kane and Haaland in this. And then you kind of just split the funds between Zaha, Maddison, and Bowen in midfield. Tony's just, you know, he's on penalties. Really unfortunate that he didn't get anything against Bournemouth. I think a lot of people were expecting him to get something against that team. But, you know, the fixtures coming up aren't too bad. And again, this is just all depending on what Mitrovic is doing. You know, if Mitrovic is just out, then obviously this would be the wildcard draft that I go with. If Mitrovic is fine, then I would go Mitrovic over Tony, which would obviously save you a little bit more money. But again, we don't know what the severity of the injury is. And again, I guess if you went Mitrovic as well over Tony, you could also upgrade to Ward from Iverson. But let's just say that Mitrovic is out, which again, potentially could be. We don't know how bad the injury is. So we've gone Tony. And then I've also obviously gone Haaland as well. Kane, just a really nice captaincy option for game week 11 when they play Everton. Of course, City and Liverpool play each other. But again, Haaland might even still be a good captaincy option in that week. I mean, if Brighton can stick 3 past him, City will dominate that game, even though it is at Anfield. So I wouldn't really bet against Haaland not getting something from that game either. Of course, Kane at home to Everton is a much nicer fixture, but I mean, it's Haaland. He's just an absolute ridiculous machine at the moment. So yeah, that would be what we're looking like for the game week 10 wildcard. And you've still got a little bit of money in the bank, and this is why I can't go to Ward on this wildcard, and that is just simply because after the blank, you can either bring in, well, I've got 0.9 in the bank, so I can, if I was on this wildcard, I would either upgrade from Tony to Jesus after the blank, because again, the fixtures that Arsenal have after the blank are just so nice. They've got Southampton, then Forest. I mean, Chelsea they can score against, then Wolves, West Ham, Brighton. Jesus is just someone that I would want in my team. Or if you didn't want to bring Jesus in and you wanted to keep Tony, again, Tony is on penalties, not a bad option. You could upgrade somebody like Fofana or Kilman to Saliba or something like that. Again, you need the money if you're going to go for Jesus, but if you are going for Saliba in defense instead, then that would allow you to upgrade from from Iverson to Ward. It's just, I don't know, personally, I would want 3 Arsenal players anyway, but again, if this draft only really allows you to pick 2 of them, so it's either like Martinelli and Saliba or like Martinelli and Jesus. So probably would want to go Jesus more, but again, it depends who you want at the back. But that's something that I would probably do in the coming weeks and stuff. But that's just kind of the wildcard draft for game week 10. Again, it's personally, I'd probably wait till game week 12. I mean, if you're on a game, if you haven't played your wildcard yet, you're probably waiting for game week 12, obviously when the swingers and everything like that, or game week 13 or whatever. But I don't know, if you're wanting to play it this week because your team's just in the rut and you need to get rid of a lot of players, and, you know, this should hopefully get you by quite a bit. It helps you with the blank as well. You've only got Cancelo, Martinelli, and Haaland blanking in game week 12. So, you know, you can easily just bench all of those, and the rest of these players do play, so that wouldn't be a problem. And then you can start bringing in your Arsenal players after that blank. But either way, that is the draft that I've gone with. If you guys enjoyed the video, please do consider hitting the like button down below. Let's try and hit 50 likes. Leave a comment. How did your game week 9 end up? Did you have Madison last night or Ward or anything like that? Or did you just have to watch in horrors? They got all the points. But yeah, subscribe, ring the notification bell. It's everything from me. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And until next time, peace.